wondered which knife to use for what food? Well, I'm Gregory. I'm the Family and Consumer Sciences Agent with North Carolina Cooperative Extension, Chatham County Center, and we're going to talk about types of knives and what foods to use them on. So here I have a small, sweet variety of pepper, and I'm going to use this paring knife to cut this into slices. Since it's a small job, using a larger knife is possible, but I can get more precise with my paring knife. You would also use this for a jalapeno or other small vegetable or fruit you might be working with. So first, I'm just going to work around the stem, turning the pepper as I move the knife through. And then I can give the stem a little twist, and it pulls out most of the pepper seeds. Now I can take this knife, curling my fingers out of the way, and go ahead and slice through this pepper. Now it depends on what you're using this pepper for and what you want it to look like. Maybe you're just snacking on it. You have little bite-sized slices, or you can go ahead and chop into small pieces as well. There we go. So the paring knife is going to be excellent for maybe peeling a peach or slicing any kind of small fruit. I have a toddler at home, so there's a lot of things that get cut into small slices and small dices, and the paring knife is definitely my friend in those cases because I can do it quickly and precisely and keep things small and about the same size. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to quickly quarter some cherry tomatoes using our paring knife. I'm going to make a slice through the stem side of the tomato and then half those. And now you have quartered tomatoes, perfect to add to a salad or to give to a toddler to keep that tomato from being a choking hazard. You just quarter it. But this knife allows me to do small, precise jobs like this and without too much work or too much squishing of the delicate little tasty tomatoes. So this knife is also excellent for removing seeds from small peppers like jalapeno. It's also great for peeling peaches or other fruits and vegetables, or making small slices from fruits that have like a pit or seed in the middle, and you can make slices around the edge. So it's an excellent little knife to work with small fruits and vegetables and little jobs. Okay, I have an apple here, and I'm going to use the Santoku knife to show you how I quickly turn this apple into slices. So again, the Santoku knife is easy to maneuver with. It's not as large as our chef's knife, although you can definitely use a chef's knife for the same job. And I'm going to show you how to do it with this smaller knife that may be more comfortable for some. So make sure your apple is sturdy on your cutting board, curl those fingers out of the way, and close to the core of the apple, just press your knife down to make a chunk there. I'm going to flip that over. Now, to make this apple sturdy, I'm going to lay it down and do the same. I'm going to cut from this direction, but close to the core. And if you get a little core in there, that's okay. I'll show you how to slice that out of there. Do a turn. And one more. And we're left with this. So you can take a nibble off of that if you want to see what your apple tastes like. But we're going to slice these guys up. So I'm going to start with one that I had the core piece in right here. So you decide how big you like your slices. I'm going to go about this width right here. And always when you get to a place like this where your fingers might be in the way making another slice, just turn that apple around and give a slice. Now we had some core in this one, so all I'm going to do is make a thin slice to remove the core section. And so you can do that if you manage to get some core in your slices. So I'm going to go through, and if you'll notice, this knife pretty much does a chopping motion. It goes mostly straight down to make these slices. Whereas with our chef's knife, it might be more of a rocking motion because of the different shape. All right, apple slices ready to go in a jiff. Okay, so let's chop an onion. I have a yellow onion here. I'm going to use the chef's knife to chop this because my recipe will say my recipe wants one chopped onion. First thing I'm going to do is remove the end, that's not the root end, but the opposite. I'm going to slice that off there, move that to the side. Next, what I want to do is slice this onion in half to make it easier to work with. I'm going to go from the root end here, press down, keep fingers out of the way so you can press like this, keep your hands up like this. I sometimes press like this where all my fingers are on top of the blade. So whichever way you'd like to do it, go right through. Again, a great feature of the chef's knife where you can do smaller jobs like trimming off that end, but also larger jobs pressing through the whole onion. So now you'll see we have some paper still on the onion. I'm going to go ahead and peel off the outside layer of this onion. Let's see here. And then lay it face down like this, where it'll be nice and sturdy for cutting. So next thing I want to do is carefully move my knife to make some horizontal cuts. So you just wiggle through, not all the way, you just go through a little bit of the way, and then I'm only going to make 2 because my onion is not a super large onion. You just press it through most of the way. Now what we're going to do is make cuts, vertical cuts, up and down. So I'm going to go right here. And again, you don't want to cut all the way through because it helps hold the onion together. Keeping my fingers out of the way, so I'm going to slide it around, make the cuts here. All right, now curling my fingers under, I'm going to cut this way and we will have our chopped onion. Ready for your recipe. Now if you were wanting to mince your onion, if your recipe called for smaller cuts, what you would need to do is make more cuts horizontally and vertically, and you would get smaller pieces of onion. And so with this little leftover here, you can make some, there's still some extra cuts there I can cut off there, and then you're left with your pork. So let's give our serrated knife a try here. So it's really great for soft foods. I have a plum here. I usually love to use this knife for slicing tomatoes for a tomato sandwich. But let's see how it does with our plum here with a couple thin slices. It goes through like butter, so soft. And you end up with lovely slices where the fruit was not pressed down or torn apart in the process. So a very handy knife for some tricky fruits and vegetables or breads. If you have a larger utility knife or a serrated knife, it's excellent for loaves of bread and cakes. Because you know when you cut that birthday cake and you end up kind of squishing it down and have pieces of cake everywhere, a serrated knife is a great way to gently slice through the cake. So now I've shown you some knives to use and what to use them on, such as our paring knife for the small, precise jobs, our serrated knife for soft fruits, vegetables, cakes, breads, our santoku knife, which can be used for most things, but we used it to slice this apple. And then we have our all-purpose chef's knife, which is a great knife for chopping, mincing, dicing, slicing
all the things. So if you're looking for a new knife, I say go for a chef's knife. But if you'd like to have a few others to choose from in your kitchen, these are great options as well.